Man returned his 18-year-old dog to shelter for the most bizarre reason. After spending 18 years together, Alex decided to return his loyal dog to the shelter. When he told the staff his reason for returning Tonic, they were furious. The employees tried to convince him to keep his dog, but they couldn't change his mind. Tonic was brought to the shelter when he was a tiny puppy. The black terrier was only a few days old when he was separated from his siblings and mother. No one knew exactly what happened to him, but one thing was clear: he was in need of a loving home. Little did Tonic know how much his life was about to change. After a few months of living in the shelter, he was adopted. But since he couldn't get along with his owner's children, Tonic was brought back to the shelter just a few days later. A few things about Tonic soon became apparent to the employees at the shelter. One was that he didn't like children. And the second was that Tonic didn't get along with any other animals. Tonic spent his first 9 months living in the shelter. He was friendly to the workers, but when children or other dogs approached him, he would start barking at them. One day, Alex came into the shelter to find a dog to adopt. Tonic started barking at the top of his lungs when Alex passed by his cage, and it became apparent to him that Tonic wasn't a friendly dog. But what happened next shocked him to the core. When the shelter owner asked Alex if he had any other pets or children, he said no. With that said, she knew that he would be a great fit for Tonic. Alex was standing next to Tonic's cage as he continued barking at him. Then, suddenly, he stopped barking and laid down on the floor. He asked Tonic, "Is that it?" knowing that he was just trying to protect himself. When Tonic heard his question, he suddenly bent his hind legs and got on all fours as if he understood him. Then he proceeded to crawl on his lap and put his head on Alex's leg. It became apparent to everyone in the room that Alex was the right fit for Tonic. But their happiness would be short-lived. One of the shelter workers told Alex, "I guess you have a dog now." Tonic and Alex spent 18 years together, and despite his old age, Tonic appeared to be in great shape. He had always been loyal to his owner until one day when a stray cat wandered under the fence of Alex's home. Alex could tell that the cat was hungry, so he fed him and began searching for his owner. And when he found the owner, he was offered a reward. Alex tried to decline the reward, but the owner insisted that he deserved to be awarded. Eventually, he accepted the money, but he wasn't planning to spend it on himself. Alex wanted to use the money to help the shelter that brought Tonic into his life. So, he called the owner of the shelter, who told him that they were desperately in need of beds, warm blankets, and towels. So, Alex went to the store and bought plenty of treats and supplies. He wanted to visit the shelter with Tonic, but his reaction wasn't what he expected at all. Tonic quickly realized where they were heading and tugged on his leash outside the shelter. He wasn't to go inside because he thought that Alex wanted to return him. So, Alex picked him up and carried him into the shelter to greet the employees, knowing that he would never leave him there. So, how did Tonic react once they entered the shelter? Tonic was nervous at first, but he didn't show any signs of distress. He watched his owner give out treats and supplies to all the cats, dogs, and other animals in the shelter. The last stop of their tour was the dog cages where Alex met Tonic for the first time. The room was filled with barking dogs, and Tonic instantly got afraid. He feared that Alex was going to leave him there as his previous owner did. Then, Alex saw the exact same cage his dog was in 18 years ago. When Alex saw the cage in which Tonic had stayed all these years ago, he got tears in his eyes. The shelter owner and employees thanked him for the generous donation he had made. Without him, they wouldn't be able to purchase all these supplies and treats. Please don't buy pets from stores, visit and donate to a shelter near you. Alex wrote. The trip to the shelter reminded Alex how lucky he was to have met Tonic. He couldn't imagine his life without him in it. Many people wanted to know the secret behind Tonic's longevity, and Alex credited a raw organic turkey as the secret to his health.